Zenil Okoye walked through the busy streets of Lusaka Bay, her heart heavy but her spirit quietly strong. She had always been known for her kindness, the kind of person who offered a smile to strangers and a helping hand to neighbors, even when life had not been easy. Her modest apartment reflected her simple life, filled with memories, both happy and painful. Lately, her thoughts kept drifting back to Thabo Mwangi, the man she had loved and trusted deeply. He had once filled her days with laughter and dreams, promising they would build a business together, a future where both of them would thrive. But those dreams had crumbled when she discovered his betrayal. Thabo had cheated, and the pain had left her feeling broken, questioning everything she once believed about love and loyalty. Her closest friend Marembe had been by her side through the heartbreak, always protective and cautious. Today, she pulled Zenil aside with a look of concern. "I don't think forgiving him is a good idea," she said firmly. "You'll only end up hurt again. Don't let him fool you." Marembe's words echoed in Zenil's mind, stirring a storm of emotions she wasn't sure she could control. Part of her wanted to hold on to the anger, to let it fuel her as a shield against further pain. Yet, another part of her longed for peace, for a way to let go of the past without losing herself. Zenil remembered the early days of their relationship, the way Thabo's eyes had sparkled with ambition, how he had painted vivid pictures of their shared future. She had believed in every promise, every plan, every whispered, "I love you," that had once felt like a song meant only for her. But the betrayal had left scars that were still tender, a constant reminder of how quickly trust could be broken. Now she faced a choice that felt larger than her own life, to carry the weight of resentment or to rise above it. Could forgiving Thabo be an act of strength instead of weakness? Could letting go of the hurt actually set her free? The thought was both terrifying and thrilling, as if the answer could shape not just her days, but her entire future. In that quiet moment, Zenil realized that the path she chose next would define more than her emotions. It would show the world, and herself, what courage really looked like. Zenil runs into Thabo unexpectedly at a community event, and her heart skips a beat. Seeing him after so many months brings back a rush of memories, laughs, dreams, and the deep trust she once placed in him. The crowded hall seems to shrink around them as her mind spins, wondering why fate would put them face to face now. She notices the way he looks at her, a mixture of surprise and something unreadable. And for a moment, old feelings rise like waves she thought she had calmed. Marembe, standing nearby, notices the tension and frowns. "You can't just let him walk away again," she whispers sharply. "You need to say something, show him that you're not weak. He doesn't deserve to forget what he did to you." Her words sting, half like warning and half like challenge, pushing Zenil to consider confrontation. Anger simmers under her skin as she recalls all the nights she cried alone, all the promises broken, all the plans Thabo had tossed aside without a thought. The instinct to lash out, to speak sharply even publicly, feels almost irresistible. But then a quieter voice inside Zenil speaks, one she had almost forgotten. She remembers the moments after the betrayal when she had tried to heal herself, small steps that had made her stronger. She feels the longing to rise above the bitterness, to act in a way that reflects who she truly is, not the hurt version of herself. The crowd around them fades into background noise as she realizes that her next action matters more than his reaction. Zenil takes a slow breath and chooses a different path. Instead of confrontation, she offers a calm, polite nod and a brief greeting, letting him see that she has moved on without needing to humiliate or shame him. Her choice shocks Marembe at first, who had expected fireworks, but soon she notices the quiet power in Zenil's demeanor. There is no anger in her voice, only strength and peace. In that moment, Zenil understands that rising above resentment is not weakness. It is a statement of self-worth. Viewers can feel her courage, the internal battle that almost pulled her back into pain, and the triumph of choosing grace over revenge. Her actions silently tell a story that anyone who has ever been hurt can relate to. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means valuing yourself enough to move forward. It is a quiet victory, one that resonates deeper than any loud confrontation ever could. Zenil starts volunteering at a local youth center in Lusaka Bay, pouring her energy and heart into helping children and teenagers who struggle with challenges similar to her own. Every day, she arrives with a bright smile, ready to teach, listen, and inspire. Her past heartbreak becomes a quiet fuel, reminding her how important it is to spread kindness and hope. She organizes activities, tutors the young ones, and encourages them to dream bigger, showing them that their past does not define their future. Meanwhile, gossip about Tabo begins to circulate in the community. People share stories of his selfishness, broken promises, and the ways he hurt those around him. Unlike Zanil, he appears trapped in his old habits, still seeking validation while leaving chaos behind. The contrast is striking. Viewers can clearly see how her actions reflect strength, empathy, and resilience, while his past deceptions and self-centeredness continue to haunt him. The community starts noticing the difference, admiring how Zanil transforms pain into positive action instead of allowing it to consume her. Mirembe watches all of this with a mix of surprise and skepticism. She remembers the angry, hurt girl who had once cried over Tabo's betrayal. Now she sees Zanil glowing with purpose, moving gracefully through life as if nothing could break her spirit. Her friends' doubts begin to fade, replaced by admiration. Zanil's success doesn't come from loud declarations or revenge. It comes from quiet dedication, empathy, and the courage to move forward. The key moment arrives subtly but powerfully. One afternoon, Zanil hears that Tabo has returned to town, trying to explain himself or make amends. Instead of anger or confrontation, she smiles inwardly and continues her work. She doesn't need to say a word. Her forgiveness is silent but complete. In this act, viewers witness true strength, letting go of resentment, choosing peace, and finding empowerment in one's own actions. It's a lesson that resonates deeply, showing that moving on isn't about proving someone wrong. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of past pain. Through her efforts at the youth center, Zanil becomes a living example of resilience and grace. Every child she helps, every smile she shares, reinforces the message that kindness and focus can outshine betrayal. Her story captures hearts, teaching viewers that real power is not in retaliation but in rising above, using hardship as a stepping stone to make the world better for oneself and others. Zanil's hard work at the youth center begins to draw attention, and soon, a well-known local entrepreneur, Kwame Ndlovu, takes notice. He watches how she inspires the children, how she turns small ideas into meaningful projects, and how her energy seems to lift everyone around her. One afternoon, he approaches her with a warm smile and an offer that surprises her: to lead a new youth empowerment initiative in Lusaka Bay. The proposal is everything she had once dreamed of building with Tabo, the very business he had promised but never delivered. The irony is sharp, almost poetic. Life is giving her the chance to achieve her dreams without depending on him. At first, Mirembe is cautious. She has seen Zanil navigate betrayal and heartbreak, and part of her worries that this new opportunity might be too much too soon. Yet, as she observes Zanil confidently accept the challenge, organize plans, and inspire young people to believe in themselves, her skepticism slowly fades. She begins to realize that Zanil's strength comes not from avoiding pain but from facing it and choosing to grow stronger. Every day, Zanil proves that resilience and determination can transform setbacks into stepping stones for success. As Zanil steps into her new role, viewers can feel the transformation. She is no longer just a volunteer. She is a leader, shaping a project that can change lives and uplift her community. The same dreams that were once stolen from her are now becoming a reality, not because of anyone else, but because of her own effort and courage. Forgiveness, which she had quietly practiced, has become the engine behind her growth. Letting go of anger has opened doors she never imagined, and her journey shows the power of moving forward with grace. The highlight of this chapter is clear. True growth comes when one releases bitterness and focuses on purpose. Zanil's story is inspiring because it shows that life can reward patience, kindness, and resilience. Viewers can relate to the emotional journey, the heartbreak, the doubt, and the eventual triumph. Her example teaches that forgiveness isn't just about releasing someone else's hold on your heart. It's about creating space for new opportunities, success, and fulfillment. Zanil's rise becomes a powerful reminder that the right choices, even when difficult, can lead to moments of unexpected triumph, capturing hearts and inspiring anyone who has faced setbacks to keep moving forward. Tabo returns to Lusaka Bay quietly at first, but word spreads quickly. He has heard about Zanil's success with the Youth Empowerment Project, and sees how much she has grown since their past. His pride is replaced by unease as he realizes she no longer depends on him, no longer needs his approval or attention. The man who once broke her heart now faces the woman who has turned her pain into purpose. For viewers, it's a moment filled with tension and anticipation. What will Zenil do now that the past has come knocking? When they meet, Zenil stands tall and composed. She doesn't yell, she doesn't cry, and she doesn't plead. Her calm presence alone speaks volumes. Tabo hesitates, trying to explain, to apologize, or even to suggest working together, but Zenil listens quietly. Finally, she speaks with a steady voice, letting him know that she has moved forward. She no longer needs his validation, no longer wants to relive old wounds, and no longer allows him to hold any power over her. It is a subtle but powerful moment, the kind that gives viewers a deep sense of satisfaction. Her strength doesn't come from confrontation or revenge. It comes from her ability to rise above the hurt and remain unshaken by the past. Mirembe watches nearby, her eyes wide with amazement. She had doubted Zenil at times, wondering if forgiveness would make her vulnerable again. Now she sees the proof of her friend's inner power. The suspense builds as Mirembe steps closer, curiosity shining in her eyes. "How did you do it?" she asks, genuinely seeking to understand. The question hangs in the air, heavy with anticipation. Viewers, too, feel the tension, waiting for the answer that could explain the transformation they have witnessed. Zenil takes a deep breath, letting the silence stretch for a moment. Then she smiles softly, a quiet expression full of confidence and peace. Her answer is simple, yet unforgettable. She forgave to free herself, not him. Those words strike a chord with everyone watching, a lesson in the power of choice, self-respect, and letting go of anger. Tabo leaves, realizing too late that the person he once controlled has grown into someone far stronger, someone whose life cannot be shaken by his presence. In this scene, viewers feel a mix of triumph and inspiration. Zenil's calm courage, her ability to forgive without forgetting, and her unwavering focus on her own growth create a moment that lingers long after the story ends. It's a turning point that resonates with anyone who has ever faced betrayal, showing that true victory comes from within. Zenil stands before Mirembe and a small crowd from the community, her eyes bright with purpose. She speaks softly but clearly, explaining that the forgiveness she offered was not for Tabo, but for herself. She tells them that letting go of anger and resentment allowed her to heal, to think clearly, and to focus on what truly matters. The words carry weight, because they are lived truth, not just advice. Listeners feel the honesty and strength in her voice, understanding that forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing your own heart. To show the impact of her choices, Zenil walks the group through the work she has been doing at the youth project. Children laugh and play in the courtyard, their joy filling the air as they learn new skills, share stories, and dream big. Families gather, expressing gratitude for the support and guidance that Zenil and her team provide. Every small achievement, every smile, tells the story of what can happen when someone transforms pain into positive action. The viewers see that heartbreak, when guided by determination, can become the fuel for meaningful change. The community watches in awe as Zenil points out how far the project has come. From tutoring sessions to creative workshops, from mentoring teens to feeding families in need, her work has touched dozens of lives. Visuals of children celebrating, helping one another, and proudly showing their accomplishments illustrate a thriving, hopeful community. The audience can feel the contrast between past pain and present success, realizing how Zenil's focus and forgiveness have reshaped not just her life, but the lives of everyone around her. Mirembe, who had once doubted whether forgiving Tabo was wise, now looks at her friend with admiration and deep respect. She sees the true power of Zenil's choice, how forgiveness combined with dedication creates opportunities that anger and revenge never could. It becomes clear that letting go of the past opens doors to growth, happiness, and lasting impact. For viewers, this moment resonates strongly, reinforcing the idea that peace of mind and purposeful action are more valuable than holding on to grudges. Zenil's story becomes a living lesson for the community and for everyone watching. Forgiveness and focus are not signs of weakness, they are tools for transformation. Her journey shows that turning personal pain into meaningful contributions can inspire countless others and create a ripple effect of hope, proving that choosing love and purpose over resentment truly changes lives. Zanil stands on the stage at the community hall, the applause echoing around her as people cheer for the difference she has made in Lusaka Bay. She feels a mix of pride and humility, knowing that her journey from heartbreak to hope has inspired many. Children she has mentored wave at her, their smiles wide and genuine, while family she has helped nod in appreciation. Local leaders present her with a certificate of recognition, praising her dedication, compassion, and the way she turned personal pain into meaningful change. The room is filled with energy, a celebration not just of her work, but of her courage and resilience. In the crowd, Tabo watches quietly, realizing that the life he once took for granted has moved forward without him. He feels a pang of regret, understanding that the trust he broke cannot be repaired, and that Zanil has grown stronger than he ever imagined. For viewers, it is a satisfying moment of closure, seeing that actions have consequences and that true growth cannot be stolen. Tabo quietly leaves the hall, a symbol of the past finally walking away, while Zanil remains surrounded by love, respect, and admiration. After the celebration, Marembe approaches her friend, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. She has watched Zanil navigate betrayal, heartbreak, and doubt, and now she wants to understand the secret of her strength. "How did you move on?" she asks softly, waiting for an answer that could explain the incredible transformation she has witnessed. Zanil looks out at the cheering crowd, then back at Marembe, her eyes calm and full of confidence. She smiles and delivers a line that will stick with everyone. "I forgave to free myself, not him." The words are simple, powerful, and memorable, perfectly capturing the heart of her journey. The moment leaves a lasting impression on everyone watching. Viewers feel the emotional closure of Zanil's story, witnessing how letting go of anger and focusing on personal growth leads to real happiness and success. The applause, the smiles, and the community's thriving energy reinforce the lesson that forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength. Zanil's journey from heartbreak to heroism becomes an inspiring example, showing that self-growth, compassion, and determination can create a life filled with purpose, impact, and lasting joy. Her story reminds everyone that the power to change your life lies within the choices you make, and that letting go of the past can open doors to a brighter, more fulfilling future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Zanil's story, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring African tales. Hit the bell so you won't miss our next story.